have it, it looks like Robert Downey Jr. isn't the only one making his MCU return in Avengers Doomsday, as it is now reported that Chris Evans will also be joining the film. But in what capacity? There are a lot of rumors flying around out there about what character he might play, but the main guess most people have is Captain Hydra, which is the evil version of Captain America brainwashed by Hydra. And so not only will he follow Robert Downey Jr. back to the MCU, but he will be doing it in a villainous role, it appears. Now, I will say that this is just a rumor, so we should take it with a grain of salt, but it is a very interesting rumor to say the least. It would seem that Marvel and Kevin Feige are desperate to get the MCU back on track and to generate excitement about their films, where it has very much fallen flat in recent years. Bringing Robert Downey Jr. back is definitely one way to do that, but he's not coming back as Iron Man. He's coming back as Victor Von Doom. But there is a lot of speculation about that, with a lot of people theorizing that he's playing an evil version of Tony Stark, which is what I'm leaning to anyway, even though he is very insistent, and Kevin Feige and everyone involved is very insistent that he is playing the Victor Von Doom. But I don't know. Like most, I don't think I'm buying that. He's probably going to end up being an evil version of Tony Stark, and then the real Victor Von Doom will come along at some point. But as far as this film goes, it's going to be Robert Downey Jr. as Victor Von Doom and Chris Evans playing in a mystery role. I don't know that they'll bring him back as Captain America, maybe an alternate version, which I just mean with Anthony Mackie, Sam Wilson taking over as the main Captain America in the main timeline. It's unlikely that he could come back, but I don't know. They had I'll admit I'm not as up to speed on Marvel comics as I am on DC, but I'm pretty sure they had them both running around as Captain America at some point in the comics. So I would love to see that. If he does come back as Captain Hydra, that would be pretty cool too. I mean, they have the multiverse out there and all different versions of characters running around. In his last appearance, we saw him in Deadpool and Wolverine as Johnny Storm. So, you know, the multiverse is still out there, unfortunately. And as much of a mess as it's made in the MCU in recent years, they do have an interesting opportunity to bring back some of these actors as evil versions of their characters. And I don't know. I guess if it's done right, I'm all for it. But if not, then I think it probably is more of just a desperate attempt to save the MCU at this point, especially bringing back two of the biggest actors that were linked to it for the longest time and supposedly ended their MCU careers with Avengers Endgame. But now they're both back, Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans, and I would have loved to see them come back as Tony Stark and Steve Rogers, but at the same time, this will be kind of interesting. But I don't know. If it's done right, I really don't think that Robert Downey Jr. is the actual Victor Von Doom. I think he's just going to be an evil version of Tony Stark. And I think the actual Victor Von Doom's out there somewhere. Like I said, with the multiverse, there's so many possibilities that they could go with. I kind of, when they announced that Robert Downey Jr. was coming back to play Doctor Doom, I saw it as a desperate attempt to try to save the MCU because it is definitely dying. And in recent years, there's been some good films and a couple of good shows, but other than that, it's not what it used to be. What better way to try to get people back involved is to bring back these beloved actors who have cemented their roles, but at the end of the day, they're not playing the same characters they were. And I don't know. I think they're just, it's a ploy to try to get people to tune in after losing viewers. But who knows? I could very well be wrong. I actually hope that I am wrong because I really did enjoy the MCU's run up through Avengers Endgame, with the exception of a couple of those projects. But I don't know. I would like to see it get back on track. I mentioned this in my last video about the Captain America 4 and the reshoots going on there. And I hope they fix it. I really do. I like these characters, most of them. Honestly, I haven't really watched many of the TV shows, especially those that have come out in the last like 2 to 3 years, because why would I even bother with that anyway? But as far as the movies and as far as the Avengers and as far as characters like Captain America and Thor, they've made Thor a joke though, and Hulk. They never use Hulk. I would like to see those two characters better utilized. But as much as Thor has been through and the loss that he has experienced, for him to turn out as a comedic joke is just, eh. Uh, uh, Hopefully they turn that around too. Honestly, with everything else that's coming out now, and I know I say this all the time in my videos, but it's very much wait and see approach. I guess I have a little bit of the superhero fatigue, but at the same time, I'm kind of excited about some of this stuff. But with what the MCU's turned out lately, it's hard to say. It's hard to say. They've had so much hit or miss and very few hits and a lot of misses. And this very well could be a desperate attempt to try to get viewers. It very well could be a desperate one last ditch effort to try to save the MCU. But at the same time, I hope they do. I hope they do save it, and I hope it does get good again because it was good. When it was good, and now that it's bad, it is bad. So, what do you think? Who do you think Chris Evans is playing in Avengers Doomsday? Do you think he's going to be playing Captain Hydra? Do you think he's going to be playing someone else? And what do you think about Robert Downey Jr. coming back? Do you think bringing back Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans is just a last ditch desperate attempt to try to save the MCU, or do you think that they'll actually stick around for a while and play these characters? Let me know below, and I will let you know.